Hey guys, how y'all doing? Hi. It's another week and another real estate tea for y'all. We're here to spill it. I am Cassandra Marks. She is Patricia Ann Young. She's out of Dallas and Charlotte. We are here to rock the
Charlotte
faces today. Well, Patricia, what's new?
I got new glasses.
I saw those. Those are cute. Totally love them.
I needed some darker glasses, so I got that. And now I can see.
That's always a good thing.
And
I feel like I should put mine on.
Exactly. And the market's a shit show.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
So either people are freaked out, don't want to move, get bid out, don't want to list, don't want to list. It's a lot of going back and forth right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is a rough bid right now. We're all pretty ragged and haggard, and it's only like what, the 20th of February. Oh my God.
It's gonna be a long year, y'all.
It's gonna be a very long year. And that's kind of why we're here today. We want to chit and chat and kind of talk a little bit about what we've seen so far in the market and where we are going to be, where we think we're going. Because there's predictions, all the economists, the beginning of the year stuff. And now, of course, we're sitting here going, well, this is what's happening. This is what's really happening. And it's a scary bit. So, Patricia, what have you been seeing going on kind of in Dallas? You've been working with a lot of buyers lately and some sellers and some leases. Kind of give us the pulse of Dallas right now.
Okay, so I mean, right now it's really odd with this market because the last like 2 years we had the crazy, right? People would list a house on a Wednesday, it'd have literally 25, 30, 60 offers, and it'd be off the market. They did the highest and best by Sunday at 5, and then the house was off the market by Monday at noon, right? All right, that's what we experienced. So the market starting in June, flattened. People started pulling back, interest rates went up. And so we started seeing buyers get into houses. Closing costs. Like right now, I have a client under contract that we got $6,000 off the ask price. We got $6,700 in closing costs. We got the title policy paid for, which is about $3,200. Then we got a home warranty at almost $600. And then we did repairs, or we did an inspection, and we asked for $3,200 off the price, and we got that. Okay, so they just went under contract 2 weeks ago. But then in that last 2 to 3 weeks, the buyers came out. We were seeing multiple offers. Why? Because the interest rates went down some. But now on my app today, the interest rate at a conventional is 6.8. So guess what that means? Flatline. Mm-hmm, so literally it changes from week to week. It changes.
Yep. And it's scary because I was driving to the coffee shop, which you can see, this is not my normal place, but I had to get somewhere where I could broadcast for you guys versus my car. And I was driving here and I was like, I get this text message from the listing agent on one of the properties I have under contract. And she's like, did your people lock their interest rate? And I'm like, I don't really know that answer. I usually do, but I didn't know that answer. And I was like, so I text my clients. I'm like in a panic. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like totally thinking I dropped the ball because they had sent something, their lender had sent something over the weekend. Well, crisis averted. Everything's good. We're locked. But it went up a lot. What was it, like 6.2 this morning and it's 6.8 now? Like,
here's the thing too. I got to give kudos. Yes, that's actually an agent on the other side for their seller that knows what the hell they're doing, which I give kudos to agents who know what they're doing. And that she saw that interest rate go up, called and said, hey, are they locked? Because if not, they could boot them right out and they're not qualified anymore.
And I literally about peed my pants, like driving my car. I was like, oh no, I don't know the answer to that question currently.
But sometimes they don't lock right away.
No, but most of the time the lenders that I deal with, they're very diligent. But this lender, don't know a ton about them. I mean, I know of their company, but I don't know the specific people that are working on this loan. And I'm just like, and so, yeah. All right. So that was my scary moment. As for our market in like the Vancouver and Portland area, I'm just going to use Camas as an example. So Camas is like a really nice, probably one of the nicest suburbs in Southwest Washington. Everybody, if you're relocating from California or whatever, like everybody wants to live in fucking Camas, right? And so last month, Camas had 31 new listings, 29 went pending. There was 60 total on the market, like active total, and 21 closings. So of the 60 that are on the market, half of them went pending that month. And like,
wow.
but only 31 new listings. So basically you're like 1-for-1 with new listings and pendings. So like basically the inventory is not growing at all on the market.
Right.
And that city is got, just short of 10,000 homes in it. And there was 31 new listings. That's it.
Wow.
10,000 homes in that city and 31 listings. I'm like,
wow.
Great. If that's any indication of what the heck is going to go this summer. Well, basically for the people, how I think that's going to run out is, people don't want to sell because what were we talking about? That like 51% of mortgage holders currently have a 4% or less interest rate. Yeah. So they don't want to sell because they're sitting there staring at 6.8. I mean, you can get buy downs. Are you getting buy downs on your clients?
Pay the extra. Yeah, we do buy downs, but sometimes, it's like trying to get somebody else to pay your buy down, which some are doing. And it depends on the day of the week and what week it is. But, but a lot of times they see that 6.8 when they have a 4.1. Hell, some people might have a 3.8 and then go to 6.8 and they're not going to want to do that. I mean,
I know some people that refied last year that are like in the 2s.
Oh, see? Yeah.
They ain't selling anything. They will sit in that house as long as they can.
Well, I don't blame them. I just looked at my Netris right now, which is our MLS. And like in the last 7 days, we have a huge, our MLS is huge, covers a lot of territory. But in the last 7 days, we only have 2,448 new listings. But if this tells you anything, price decreases were 2,108, and back on market in the last 7 days were 564. And it makes you think why did interest rate is probably fell out. So that's not a lot.
I mean, like that's not a lot of houses, but that's a lot of back on markets. And like for people who maybe just be joining us, in the past 2 years, back on market rarely happened. Because there would be like 8 people lined up after the first one. And if your agent was doing their job the correct way, you should never have to go back on market. But it's changing. So here, I guess, Patricia, we're going to prep for the spring market. You're a seller. What are you walking in and you're telling your sellers about this market, and what are you telling them to be ready for? And kind of how are we prepping for this shit show?
Well, I went on a listing that's coming on the market. It's coming soon tomorrow, and then we're going live on the 28th. So this was a house that we had listed. We immediately it came right near the end of the market, right with the shift of the market. We had gotten a contract. That one fell through. We got a second contract. It was only like $10,000 off the price. We took it. It fell out 3 days before closing because of the lender. And so we put it back on the market. And then what happened was here came the change and here came the chasing. So even though what was priced right when I first priced it now became 10. So we ended up taking it off the market. So they wanted to wait. So we went through the holidays, went back over, and we looked at numbers. So when we put it up last when we put it up in June, we listed at $599.9. Now we're coming back on the market in February on the 28th at $549.9. So that just goes to show you from the time of June
7
July,
months,
August, 7 months,
7-8 months. Yeah.
We dropped from $599 down. We're going to list at $549.9 because that's where the market is. We're too low, just a little.
So on our next show, you'll have to keep us updated on where that one is. Let's track that one and give us a good idea of kind of what's been going on since last June. And I know here, like when I'm walking into listing appointments, I'm having conversations with my sellers, that, there are things we can control and things we can't control. Yes, we do ultimately put the price on the MLS, but the buyer is the one that ultimately is going to be setting the market.
That's
and
right.
what the price is for the house.
That's right.
So you can put it on at $549, but if no buyers can afford that or want to afford that, because I'm guessing if you're putting 10% down on that, 10 to 20% down on that, you're looking at probably $4,000 a month in payment, probably close.
Yep.
With the interest rates where they are right now.
With the interest rate at a 6.8, and that's why I told him. I said, "Listen, you have to understand this interest rate is high." I mean, when I went over there last week, it was 6.5. Now we're at 6.8. I go, "You got to understand this. It's gonna. Let's just say it stays in the sixes. It stays like say mid 6 to high 6." I said, "So they're taking that. So a lot of them have lost their buying power." When I pulled the showing reports, here's the funny thing. Because we use a showing service called Showing Time, so I always pull. Like if we're listing at 550, I pull from 5 to 600 because I want to see where the buyers are.
Yep.
So there were a bunch of buyers between 535 and 540, and then it was a lull, and it was like 560 to 565. We're missing that whole middle buyer pool, but we're in the middle between the low because we're larger. We're 3,400 square feet. And the other ones at the 560 were a little bit lower in square footage. So we're in the middle. So we need that middle buyer pool's missing. We're missing it. I wasn't going to put them at 530. That's way too low. But to go where we are now, but we will probably end up maybe 10 off, but we'll be right in right where we should be. But the thing is, we're missing a whole buyer pool right now.
Yeah. And that's the things we're seeing here too. I tell my clients that they're setting the price, but you can control the condition of the home. So when we walk into the house and I look at it and be like, okay, we need to clean this up a little bit, maybe do some paint work, do some extras. People are really, really, what I've seen so far is people don't want to do any work. They want to just come in and move in. And that's kind of a flowing trend sometimes. It depends how popular HGTV is. If there's one show, like a Fixer Upper or whatever that was really popular for a while, everybody wanted one. And so you could sell those pretty easily. When the market was, had the lower interest rates, people were like, I'll take whatever I can get. We don't care what condition it's in. We just want a house. But now people are a little bit more picky. And then the other thing that we can control, and then I tell, or can't control, and this is what I tell my sellers, is we can't control the location of your home.
No.
So we can't really control the price. We can control the condition, but we can't control the location. It's not like we can just pick your house up and move it somewhere else. So how do we figure out the best way to roll in this, whatever shit show it's going to be? I feel bad and good for anybody who is listing. I feel good for anybody who's listing in Camas. I feel really bad for anyone who's trying to buy in Camas, because there's going to be, it's going to be multiple offer regardless, I have a feeling, of interest rate. And it's going to be selective. Municipalities are going to be that way. I don't think all of Vancouver will be that way, but if you went up into Salmon Creek or Philida, yes, Richfield, some of Richfield, absolutely. It's not going to be that way with new build, because new build is so desperate
the easiest right now. New build's the one you can go in and lowball, but you got to remember though, people, new builds were already priced high. So when you say, oh, I got 40 off, well, yeah, it probably should have been there to begin with. Anyway, so I think sometimes builders have this mentality now. They shouldn't have been that high to begin with, because really out of everybody who lowered, builders really haven't lowered. Now builders are lowering. So it looks, oh, we'll give you 40 off. We'll give you a buy down. We'll give you that. Yeah, because you need to be there anyway. You're overpriced. You're not going to appraise. So, and the problem with builders is you have to remember, if you go in for a new build, you better understand what happens if that house doesn't appraise, because a lot of builders here do not go down. And you have to bring that money. So, and if you are building a house and now they want 50% of any type of upgrades that you put into the house, even structural, they want 50% of that. You're not getting that back. If you get out of that contract, that is their money.
Yeah, please. So, and number one, from 2 real estate ladies that have been in this business, if you have a new build contract, please have because you're going to use, there's the MLS, and then there's the builder's contract. Please have the builder's contract reviewed by at least a lawyer. In my neighborhood, I'm sending you a lawyer. I'll look at it, but I am not going to interpret it. It is not my job to interpret those contracts, because they're completely
we're not lawyers.
Separate.
We don't interpret anything.
They're completely separate from our MLS contracts. Yeah. There's standardized forms in both of my states. So I'm going to send you a lawyer. because I don't,
yeah.
and then I'll meet with the lawyer and we can talk over stuff, but like,
And you got to let people know that. And a lot of times standard, like our forms, they're standard. So you can't be
Yeah.
crossing stuff off.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes you can do an amendment, but a lawyer has to write it. Cause again, we
Yeah.
can't interpret the contract. That's why we say they even added something in, even on our amendments now, to make sure if you're not sure to get an attorney. And I always ask people, and I've been doing this 19 years. I've only had 2 times that someone's asked for an attorney. Cause the thing is with the builder, and I've learned this because somebody got an attorney with the builder, they weren't changing it. They wouldn't change it. They wouldn't even amend it. So they're promulgated forms. So, but you have to understand what you're getting into, because some people have had some issues with builders, and it depends on who they are. But the thing is, right now, it's up to us as real estate agents that when we go into a seller, you can't be blowing smoke up these people's butts. You have to say, listen, this is the market. Here's what's happening. I mean, here it is in black and white. Look at this. We're missing a whole buyer pool. So where you're priced, we're missing. So, and the dreaded thing I don't always like to hear, I'm not in a hurry. Okay, that's fine. And we have them priced right. But again, we're missing a whole buyer pool. I can't change that. Nobody can change that. But the houses have to look good. You can't have wood rot and bad roofs and bad foundation, and the house smells and you have 75 animals. You can't have any of that anymore. We're done.
No.
Get out. Pick your crap up. Spend 20 minutes. You want to sell your house? Spend 20 minutes. Get the hell out of the house. Do not stay in the house. Oh,
yep.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's been so for like sellers, like I tell them we want to be as accommodating as possible to people. So like when people are like, well, I need 24 hours, or like there's only certain hours during the day, I'm like,
I'm not listing a house like that.
You're going to show your house all day. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Especially on the weekend. Out.
Yeah. Go work at a coffee shop. Go to the coast for the weekend. Here, go get an Airbnb, stay at the coast for the weekend. I will show the house. But needless to say, so like sellers, you want to deal with this absolute shit show that is coming. Listen to your professionals. We do this day in and day out, every single day. You know, you as a homeowner probably will do this maybe 3, maybe 4 times in your lifetime. I can do 3 or 4 before the end of the month. And so I want to make sure I know the trends. I know what's going on. We know all this stuff. And so we are trying to guide you to sell your house for the most money in the least amount of time. Please trust us. Please believe in us. I mean, I will say not every realtor is good at their job, but not everyone is good at not everyone is good at their job, regardless if they're a realtor or not. You know, sometimes you look at people and you're like, how did you get hired here? I spent that way in corporate America for a long time. I was just like, huh? How do you have a job?
And talk to a couple people and talk to a couple agents. I have no trouble going up against another agent. I mean, I'm going to be upfront with you. And when people say, you know, what makes you different, what makes it different is, number one, you have communication. And I promise you that. I mean, even if they have a showing and I get it on my app and they get it, I'm like, ooh, you got to show. Because I get excited. Sometimes I think I'm more excited. But it's that communication thing, you know, to understand. But, and let me tell you this. Nothing against new agents. I have absolutely we were all new at one time.
We were all new agents. Absolutely.
But let me tell you something. You better make sure that they have a mentor. And when I ask that, buyer's agents are different. Well, buyer's agents too should know what they're doing, but especially with negotiation. But a listing agent should at least have some experience, because you got to know what to do with this when you need to, you know, how many showings have you had? Okay, we need to lower. You know, what's going on with the marketing? Here's what we've been doing. Here's the feedback. You got to be able to like have the ballsy conversation, you know, with it. And I walk into people's houses all the time. I go, look, okay, now that we did this, you're not going to like what I have to say, but here's what you're going to have to do. I want to
absolutely. And I'm not going to walk into my listing appointment with a buyer or a seller, and I'm not going to tell them who I am and blow smoke up their ass and tell them what I can sell their house for. That's just not how this works. Honestly, I want to know, and this is what I tell my sellers, I want to know what your expectations of me selling your home are. How often do you want to hear from me? Like, if you don't want to ever hear from me and you just like, whatever, do your thing, cool. How honest do you want me to be? Because like, I'm pretty brutal when it comes to that stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not going to be mean, but I'm going to be honest with you and say like, okay, we've only had 2 showings. You're overpriced. You are overpriced. And like, the biggest thing is like, when you list your home, do you want, and I've heard this from so many people recently, and it's great to hear, do you want to sell your home or do you want to sell your neighbor's home?
Neighbor's home.
Who do you want to
Because your
sell?
house can help sell your neighbor's house.
Absolutely. If you are not priced correctly, you will sell your neighbor's home.
We have a house
And
down
then
the
you
street
will
that
sit.
came on, and they're out there. I can tell you right now, they were listed around when we were listed, but they were always overpriced because they think their third car garage is worth like $30,000. And again, they've come down, but they are way too high. So I'm like, that's perfect because that house is going to help you. It's going to help us sell this house.
Yep. And so
Yeah.
you look at those, like when you're a real estate agent and you see an overpriced house and you know you're listed in that neighborhood, you're like, yes, let's do this. So the market,
We pray for the overpriced, not us, but the other ones.
So,
and I tell people that you just have to be honest. And like Cass said, I went on a listing that I'm going to see. I sold in a house. I haven't been in 4.5 years. I walked in and I'm like, we need a foundation check. And the husband's like, I'm like, look, we're going to have a 7-day option period. I don't want to be dealing with this. If they do an inspection, they're going to find it anyway. Yeah. So we're doing that and we're doing this. And I gave them a list and I go, I go, when you're ready to do it and you call these people, you let me know. Then after we get all the reports, we will list your house.
Yep. So
sorry.
If you want to avoid the shit show this spring, please listen to a real estate professional. Don't really, fine. We'll talk to multiple people. I'm not afraid of it. If you like me, you like me. If you don't like me, you don't like me. Like it's what's best for you. Right. And then as for buyers. Also, I'm going to give you the exact same advice. Listen to your agents, please. So like I've written a few offers this spring, and when the interest rates went down, we got slaughtered by $95,000 because somebody decided that this house for $454 was worth $95,000 more than that. Nope. Then
and listen to what she just said. $95,000. It's February 20th.
Yep. So the house was listed at $454, and I lost that. We were one of 10 offers. We lost that one by $95,000. 95. It was 454. So someone wanted to pay almost 20% over to get this house. I'm like, have it. It ain't worth it.
Say the buyer predicts it. The buyer's going to make the price.
I have comped and it does not say that. And like my clients, it wasn't worth that to them, which is fine. And that absolutely should be. Like you get to a point, and I advise my buyers that, how to avoid the shit show. Okay. So 454. What do you want to offer? This is what I asked them. And then they'll give me a number, say 460. I said, okay, 460. If the house sells for 465, would you be mad? Yes. Okay. 465 is your new number. If the house sold for 470, would you be mad? No. Hard line. Like you need to, as a realtor and as a buyer, like I put that hard line in there because I ask all my clients that, because then, they may say a number and I'm like, well, you don't get when that interest rate comes down, you don't get 2 chances at buying this house. You get one. Mm-hmm. And you get one shot to give your best presentation. What are you giving? If the interest rates stay high, depending upon your market and your area, yes, there's more leeway for buy downs. Like I had some clients that understood their situation, understood that they were a VA buyer, understood that they were going to have to pay a little extra for the house to get their VA accepted because they needed money for buy downs. They were fine with all of that. And we did what we did. We're under contract and beautiful, when people understand their situation. But this market right now, you need to listen to your agent and understand, like, they will know if you're going to be able to get a deal on the house or not. If they say no, you better be really willing to pay for it.
And you know what? Here's another thing for people who are listening that want to buy. Just because a house has been on the market for 60 days, 70 days, it doesn't mean that these people are going to drop their drawers. Because understand, as the market shifts, the days on market change. Because here, before the market went crazy, the average, depending on the house and depending on the condition of the house in a particular area, a house could go pretty quick, 25, 30 days. But otherwise, you were 90 to 120 days. That was like an average to be on the market, about 3 months, 2.5, 3 months.
I just dropped my pants when I just looked at our most recent market stats, and we went from, in December, Vancouver was 1.7 months on market to January was 2.6. We went up almost.
We are.
entire
We're at
month.
2.6. We're at 2.6
We
right now.
we went up almost an entire month in 1 month.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. So just because you see that number, and your agent should inform you of that. Now, look, I'm not saying to go in and try and not try. I'm not saying that, but don't be surprised. And if they're insulted, because here's the other thing too, because here you can either fix repairs or someone's going to offer you money. But if they're giving it all to you in the beginning, you're going to be hard pressed to get it. You're not going to get it on both ends. But you have to try, but just because it's been on the market for a long time does not mean, like Cass had one, remember, 100 and some days and there were 4 offers. As soon as the interest rate goes down, people jump. They know they have a window and they're out, everybody else.
Yep. So if you can afford right now to buy, and there's a house on the market that you like, buy it and do the refi later. Because if you wait for the interest rate to go down and then put an offer on, you're going to be paying physically more for the house. Yep. Because, and I know that sounds counterintuitive, but like if you get it at 400 with a 6.5% interest rate, and then you get the interest rate goes down below 6 and you're competing, and now you're going to pay 450 for the house with a 6% interest rate. Like,
yeah. And you can refinance. Like I said, we always see that, you marry the house, you date the rate, because you can refinance. So we don't know when you can refinance, but you can always change that aspect. You can't change the house. And I think it's better for people than putting down $50, $95, $100,000 over and pay a little bit higher rate, which you can change your payment.
Yeah.
You can't change that.
No.
So you're out all that money. This is a lot of money.
So, guys,
now, everything's expensive. Talk to your lender.
Yes. Ultimately, what we're trying to say here, and there's multiple, I know we've been over a lot and it's all over the place, but like the thing is buy when it's the right time to buy, sell when it's the right time to sell. We're not here to say you must sell now. Like, we're just being encouraging, because the market trends state that typically the spring market is the best time to sell over the year. So we ask people if they want to sell because, school, this, that, and the other. But if it's not the right time for you, it's not the right time for you.
Don't sell.
But one thing that I am a huge advocate of is don't listen to your uncle. Don't listen to the news. Listen to a real estate professional. We do this for a living, and you're not going to go ask a barista at a place to do open heart surgery on you, are you? No, probably not. But so why would you listen to your uncle, who probably doesn't have any experience other than listening to some news station when it comes to what's going on actually in the market? Because even the stuff on the news is clickbait and crap. So listen to the people that live, breathe, eat. I mean, we do this 24/7. That's literally all Patricia and I talk about, other than our pets, is real estate. So please trust us. Please listen to us. So if you want to navigate the spring market, find a trusted real estate professional, lean into them. They will give you what you need, whether it's a lender, whether it is some sort of insurance professional, inspectors, anything like that.
Vendor list.
We cultivate relationships to service and help people make their homeownership dreams a reality.
Exactly.
So anything else, Patricia, you would like to add to this lovely, 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 lovely day?
The only thing another tip I would say, before you sell your house and you plan to buy another one, you better get approved first. Ooh. And I know people say, I have a good credit score, I've got this, I got that. You don't know until you check your credit. And that happened a long time ago. One time I said, let's get approved. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Guess what? Wasn't good. House was under contract. Sellers can't get out of contracts here. So she had to run for a while. So what I'm saying is just be smart about it. Again, you never know credit things. My husband, with us having the last name of Young, we got to check I check my credit every quarter, because he's had stuff on there that's not him. I've had stuff because our names are so common. So you should always check your credit. But before you sell your house, get pre-approved.
Before you go to try to buy a house, before you even go look at houses, I'm going to tell you right now.
But sellers don't think that,
Yeah. I'd hate.
Yeah, let's get pre-approved.
Get pre-approved. Because also the other thing of that is too, is like, are you going to be contingent upon the sale of your home to buy your next one?
Yep. Some people may have to do a bridge loan. I mean, especially if it starts getting competitive, no one's going to take a contingency. So you got to do a bridge note. So yeah,
listen to your professionals. So
Please. That's why we're here. We can help you in Dallas and Charlotte. She can help you in Portland, Washington. And if not, we've got a network of phenomenal agents across the country that will have your best
everywhere.
interest, and it can help you and, get you the right house for your family and get you at a good price. So,
Yep. Well, Patricia, I think we've covered a lot today, and I think
We
we should
have.
let the kids go and do their thing. But we want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in and listens to us. I hope you enjoy. One of these times, we're going to be really, really belligerent because it's getting there. Today was a very questionable day. I was having a rough one. I know we all kind of were. So, anyways, we want to say thanks again for everyone turning
Thank
into
you.
the Real Estate Tea. We appreciate it. Please drop notes and comments down below in the videos. We will take care of you in any way, shape, or form that we can when it comes to real estate. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button so that you don't miss us on our next episode, which will be on March 6th. And I think I'm scrolling down at the bottom. We are going to be talking about relationships
over sales.
over sales. So,
Important.
absolutely. All right, guys. Well, you have a lovely, lovely week, and we will see you in 2. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.